Okay, I'm done holding back all the things I save for my private clients. In January alone, 95% of the families we met with in free or private consultations had never heard or seen the school profile for their child's high school. If you didn't catch that, I said school profile. It's a document that literally shares the academic profile of your high school with colleges. This document is how colleges view your child's high school and the context in which to evaluate their application, their college application. Does this sound like a document you want to see before senior year? If you are nodding your head yes, stick with me because I am breaking it down today. But hold tight. If you've never heard of the school profile, you are in good company. Smart, savvy, college-educated parents don't know what it is. So I decided if they need this information, I'm pretty sure you do too. Hola and bienvenidos. I'm Dr. Cynthia Colon. I grew up with 14 tios and tias with advice on just about everything except for how to get admitted to college. It was my immigrant mother who found a way to get me the advice I needed and the answers she wanted to make my college dreams come true. But it wasn't until I was an admission officer at an elite private college that I saw for myself the discrepancy of college guidance available to public and Catholic school students versus private school students. Today, I am on a mission to help smart public and Catholic school families access top 100 colleges. For over 20 years, my team and I have worked with over 10,000 students, helping them create an early action plan with key strategies to leverage their strengths and ultimately reduce family stress and increase college success. Our private clients and campers achieve over a 90% success rate in getting admitted to the top 100 colleges they apply to. If you are a college graduate, frustrated that the school counselor is unavailable or lacks the savvy knowledge you know your child deserves, you're in the right place. If you're ready for an expert college coach to give it to you straight with a bit of sass and a whole lot of rah-rah, well, my friend, we've been waiting for you. Welcome to Destination University.
There is no guarantee for success, but there are ways to get closer to it when you do the right things. Who you surround yourself with is just as important as what you do. Finding the right people, the right classes, the right activities, and taking the right tests are all decisions that shape your future. Find out more today on Destination University with Dr. Cynthia Colon. Dr. Colon and her guests will give you the tips you need, whether you're a student, parent, or educator. Now, here is your host, Dr. Cynthia Colon.
Okay, welcome to Truth Talk Thursdays. OMG, if you are a smart and successful professional and now your child is less than 5 years away from applying to college, you're in the right place. You guys, I am beyond excited for this episode, but hello, I want to smack myself so hard because why have I not done this before? Literally no clue. But finally today, I'm going to break down the school profile. What is it? I'm going to give you 3 examples of school profiles. I'm going to walk you through the components. I'm going to tell you how this is used in college admissions. And number 5, I'm going to tell you where to find your school profile. Oh, my friends, if you are still scratching your head, sit down, because that's a good clue that you need this episode. Every single one of my private consultations, in other words, families who pay for a 2-hour personalized strategy session that comes with analysis and an action plan, this is the first item that we ask them to retrieve for our session. Whether you know about this document or not, I'm going to give it to you straight and show you an actual example of a public school, a Catholic school, and an elite private school. You will clearly see the difference and why I'm on a mission to give every family the truth about the college admission process. Okay, so before I dive in, I'm going to address the elephant in the room, the parents. So if you're like me and my college friends, you graduated from college 25 plus years ago, plus, and you fall into one of two buckets. You're either like the in the know parent, you're the planner, you need all the answers, you know that you need an early strategic plan. I get you and I got you. Or you're number two, which a lot of my friends fall in this category, the I got this parent. You're thinking, it was easy for me. I did this all on my own. Nobody I knew had a private coach. I applied to 5 colleges. I was admitted to 4. What's the effing big deal? Yeah, I hear this all the time. You're not alone, and I get it. And yet, here's me screaming at you with lots of love, because here's the truth. I'm going to just own that USC was my dream college, my dream school. And when I was admitted, I was over the moon. I have no idea what the acceptance rate was, but I'm pretty sure it was north of 70%. Today, my friends, USC admits under 12%. Under 12%. And now is a top 100, maybe even a top 25 college in the country and around the world. What the F? So if you graduated from college 25 plus years ago and your child attends a public or a Catholic school, you need the information that private school families already have. Why? Because it is very likely that your child may not be admitted to your own alma mater. What the F? Yes, I said it twice. Do I have your attention now? Okay, let's hop to it. All right, so if you, let's see. Okay, so if you have my book, I'm going to just scroll here. Okay, so if you have my book, you need to read chapters 1, your 4-year academic plan, and 2, your academic plan. That will give you more info and real examples. Today, I'm going to walk you through the academic plan, the one document every family needs to make a plan. So here's a quick tale. I had a mom call me in October of the son's senior year and wanted my help in his application to the UC system. Those of you listening, yes, I'm from California. Before I did anything, I asked for the transcript to see if he was eligible. After a quick recalculation of the GPA, he had met the course requirements, but not the GPA requirement. Her son was 1 grade shy of being UC eligible. No joke. She was a parent of a Catholic school, and with a tiny bit of early information that she could have found on the school profile, this could have been easily avoided. Alrighty. Dr. C, tell us already. Okay. The school profile is the document that literally shares the academic profile of your high school with colleges. This document is how colleges view your child's high school and the context in which to evaluate their application. You know how those property flyers that you pick up when you're touring a house that's for sale? It gives potential buyers the basic necessary information, as well as the extra highlights of the home, square footage, the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, and other amenities. If there's an ADU attached, potential rental income, maybe the school district. This is the realtor's way of marketing the home that they're selling. So think of the school profile like a property flyer. Each one essentially has the same academic information, no matter the location or the type of high school. Whether your school is public, religious, or private, It should contain the basic information. And when talking about high schools, the basic information means the academic offerings and the profile of the students who attend that school. Capiche? In my experience, the basic components of the school profile should include demographics of the student population, test scores and test averages, GPA distribution, honors courses offered, including honors, APs, and/or IB courses, college acceptance statistics, and any special academic programs. Let me show you what an actual school profile looks like, okay? So I'm gonna start by opening up 3 schools. So hold the phone right there, my friend. I gotta get my glasses. Okay, here we go. So what I'm doing, oh, I should share my screen, right? Let me do that. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to see everything here. If you're watching through your podcast on your iTunes or wherever you're listening, you're going to want to go catch this episode on YouTube so that you can follow along. Okay. So let me share my screen. All right. So here we go. Now, here is the public school example I have. And my apologies, they're all from California because I knew these are ones I've looked at before and they were easy to snag. So you see here, this is Redondo Union High School. Okay, here are the graduation requirements. Here's the grading policy. I see the honors distinction, how they designate the honors on the transcript, and it tells me the advanced placement courses that are offered at the high school. Okay, so you see here, and like you can count them up, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, it also gives me the mean scores for the SAT and ACT of the students that took it from that high school. It also puts the average from their high school next to the state average from California. Now here's a tiny little thing here. Over here on the left side, it says percentage of graduating seniors eligible for UC or Cal State admissions. It's 65%. Again, this is an old profile. I just wanted to give you an example. 65%. That tells me a lot about the context in which the student is coming from. 65%, not 100% and not 20%, but 65% of the students who graduate from this high school tend to be UC or Cal State eligible, meaning they meet the A to G requirements, course requirements, and GPA requirement. Okay, so that's important to know because that's an equivalent of that's a good measure of how many students are eligible in general to apply to and be admitted to four-year colleges. Now, down here below, you see this list of colleges, and it says the Seahawks, that's their mascot, attending colleges around the country. So this is an example of colleges that their students have said yes to, and they are actually currently attending. Each school profile might say something slightly different. It might say these are the ones that they've been admitted to. So let's take a look at another example. So this is one of my favorite schools, Bishop Amat High School. My cousins went there, and we work with them. They're one of our partner schools. Shout out to Bishop Amat. This is a very recent profile. It's from this year. Okay, so I love that they had that right on their website. It was easy to find. It tells you their student population, the ethnic makeup. See here on the left side, I love this sidebar. It's pretty, it's easy to read. I love this. Not that that's going to matter really, but it's helpful. So honors courses, AP courses, they're all right there. This is on the front page, first page, page 1. Boom. Gives me a lot of academic data right away. Okay. Now here, It says class of 23, 69% went on to four-year colleges, 27 to two-year colleges, and 4% went on to full-time employment. Okay, so that 69%, remember the other one said 65% were eligible? This is telling me that 69% went on to. It probably means also that more than that were eligible. They just made other choices. But just to give you, like, that's how I would read it as the admission person, knowing it's my job as the college admission person in charge of California, which I was at Vassar, to understand and know the high schools that I am going to recruit students from. So it goes on. Now, it tells me that the following four-year universities enrolled the largest number of their graduates. So right away, I see which colleges, and I can see right away that majority of the colleges that the majority of their students go to or attend are California. I think they're all exclusively. I think this list is exclusively California. Am I right? Yes. Okay. So that tells me a lot as well, right? So if I'm Vassar, I'm thinking, wow, what are the chances of me getting a student to actually say yes to us if we admit them? So that, is neither here nor there, but it is a consideration. Then this profile shares, I'll zoom in. Well, I mean, you might have young eyes, but I don't. This says members of the class of 23 were accepted to the following four-year colleges. They were admitted to the following four-year colleges. So these are all the schools they were admitted to, okay? So as a quick glance, I'm like, oh, wow, okay, so USC is on the list, University of Washington, I'm looking and seeing, oh, okay, what is the one I just saw? Northwestern, that's a good, NYU, Stanford. So I can see that they have a range of students getting into a range of Georgetown University. I'm assuming that Notre Dame is on here. If someone applied, no, it's not on here. Okay, so this gives me a good sense of like where students were admitted to. This one, I wish they told me where they were admitted to, but this is telling me where they attended. And I do see Yale on here. I see Villanova. So I'm looking for two things in California. I'm looking for, like, are there out-of-state colleges on here? Are there private colleges? Are there competitive, highly competitive and highly selective colleges on here? So to give me a better sense of, the students and the context in which I'm looking at this profile, this applicant. Okay, let's take a look at Flint Ridge Prep. Also, another one of my favorite schools. I've worked with students. I currently have one of my private clients is from here, and I've worked with students from here before. So I love their profile because it's so easy to read and it's pretty. All right, but right here, right away, let me make this smaller. Yeah, anyway, right away, I see that the class has 103 students total, okay? Over here at Almont, remember, they have a student population of 1,000 plus, so about 250 per class. This school has 100. The average number of applications, 11.6. And look here, you guys, 57% of the class attends a very selective institution, meaning they say right here, spell it out for me, that those colleges that admit under 25%. Let me take a sip of my coffee and let that soak in for a second. Are you starting to see? Yeah. Okay. I went over the profile with my private client recently. She's now a sophomore. And we had probably gone over it when we first met with the family, but it was like she was seeing this for the first time. And she was like, she was getting informed. She learned a lot. She's like, I learned a lot today. Okay. So she's a student there and doesn't really, know. Okay. So this tells me a huge, a lot of information. It gives me a lot of information because look, if 57%, and I think, to be honest with you, it's a little bit less now. I think her profile, the newest one might have said 50%, 55%, 55% maybe. So anyway, still in the ballpark. If 57% of 100 students are going to colleges that admit under 25%, what does that tell you? I'll let you figure it out. Chew on that. Okay? Yeah. Okay. All right, and then it gives me some more information. Okay, this is all online. You can find this. I'll tell you how to find it. I'm not sharing anything that is otherwise not on the internet. Okay, so it also gives me test scores, averages, and mid-range, mid 50% range. It tells me about the advanced placement courses that are offered. The human development. Remember I said sometimes it tells you a little bit about some special academic offerings. So it just explains their philosophy. It gives you some information. Then the curriculum. They give you some serious information about each of their departments. The course offerings. Okay. So they spend a lot of time. This is a private, elite private high school. Spend a lot of time giving me all of the academic information of their high school. Remember, this is like a property flyer for a house that's being sold, right? They're trying to say we are academic, we're intellects, all of our students, do great things and you should admit them. Is basically what they're saying. Okay. And then at the very bottom, I'm surprised it's not a whole page, but at the very bottom, it's so tiny. It's so tiny, I need my glasses and I need to zoom in. Oh my Lord. It says matriculation. Now, matriculation is your word, vocabulary word of the day. Matriculation means those students who are attending. Okay, so acceptance, if it said these are the students where they've been admitted to, which I think Bishop Amat has where they've been admitted to, matriculating means they're attending there. They've matriculated to that institution. Okay, so it says matriculation and it gives me a range date, 2016 to 2018. What year of profile is this? 2018 to 2019. Okay, this is my favorite. When a high school gives me a range of like the last 3 to 5 years at the most, but 3 years is really great. It gives me an idea where those students have been admitted, right? Okay, and I'll tell you why later, why that's important and why you should know. So it gives me a range. Now, I don't have to go through this list to know who's on it because at the top it tells me most of their kids are getting admitted to top 100 colleges. Okay, so be that as it may, if you want to find it, I'll tell you later how to find all of these. All right. Okay, so those are your examples. So now you at least know a little bit about sort of like what you're up against and why this is important. I hope you're seeing how this all works. All right, let's keep rolling here. Okay, so how is this used in college admissions? So I'm going to share the school profile is the DNA of your high school. It is how colleges understand the context in which the applicant comes from. Okay. So for example, the courses offered, you saw the 3 examples. For me, when I worked at Vassar College, the first thing I pulled out was the school profile and the transcript of the applicant. I'd count up the number of honors, APs, IB courses offered at the school. Then I'd count up the number the student had taken. I'd literally use my color pens, pink for honors, purple for AP or IB. I'd write those numbers on the notes sheet. For example, if the student took 4 honors out of the 8 that were offered, I'd write the number 4 over 8, like a fraction, right? 4 over 8. And the same for AP, IB, 9 APs over the number 25 or whatever. Note, if a school only offered 5 APs, what does that mean? Given your resources, what did you achieve? The difference between a kid that takes 1 AP when offered every AP under the sun versus a student that takes advantage of all 5 that are offered, those 2 students, I'm gonna try to admit the 5 for 5 kid over the 1 for 25 kid all day, every day. Okay, let that sink in for a second. Okay. What I'm saying is, what were your resources and what did you take advantage of? The kid who has every AP under the sun available and only takes 1, didn't take advantage of their resources. The kid that takes 5, and that's all they offered, so they took advantage of everything, I'm going to advocate for that kid in a different way than I would for the other student. Capiche? Okay, let's move on. All right, grade distribution. To determine where the student fell in the classroom, that's the grade distribution. The DNA of the high school doesn't change much from year to year. If the top 10% of the class has about a 4.4 GPA and above, it's going to be about the same from year to year. The grade distribution helps college admission folks figure out where each applicant falls in the class. Capiche? Okay. Many schools will say they don't rank, and that's fine, but AOs, admission officers, are trained to figure out all of that on their own. It makes parents and families feel good that the school doesn't rank, but come on, like, let's face it, a 4.2 is lower than a 4.5, a 3.5 is less than a 3.75. I can figure it out what the rank is. What does this have to do with you? If you have a young freshman or a sophomore, I love to show my parents this document because you don't have to nag them at all. Just show your child this document and let them figure out where they would like to fall on that chart by the end of junior year. Sometimes that's all the inspiration they need, and you did nothing. Okay, wowza. That was a doozy. And girl, and guy, I cannot tell you how relieved I am that I got this out into the world. 2024, here's my promise to you. No more holding back. I'm giving it to you straight with a bit of sass, but a whole lot of rah-rah. You can do this. Each week, I'll give you a set of must-dos, should-dos, and could-dos. Today, they are all must-dos. Number 1, get a copy of my book, Be Committed, Get Admitted. It's an easy read. Read chapters 1 and 2. If you read 1 tip per day, it will take you about 8 days, maybe not. Easy, easy. And right now, for a limited time, you can actually download the whole book for free on my website. It's a PDF copy, it's an e-copy, but if that is what you need, just do it. Number 2, get a copy of the school profile. You're going to Google the name of their high school, your student's high school, plus the words school profile. For example, I Googled Palo Alto High School, school profile. Came up. If you can't find it, ask the counselor and they'll know that you are smart and savvy about this process. That's a good thing. Okay. Number 3, would you get off your butt and schedule a free consultation with me already? Like, come with your profile and your questions, and I'll give you personal tips on what to do next. Okay, finally, I will give you one should do / could do. Next week, I'm going to review with you the student that the Wall Street Journal called extraordinary, with the title Wall Street Journal, McKinney High School Girl, Extraordinary Isn't Always Enough. Okay, extraordinary isn't always enough. Wall Street Journal, Google that. The article left readers shocked that such an overachiever, 4.5 GPA student, would be rejected by 9 colleges out of 11. Read the article before joining me next week. Why? Because when I looked up her school profile, just like I taught you to do today, I found all the answers as to why she was not admitted, proving my point that a tiny bit of early information about your own high school will save you and your child the gut punch of a devastating senior year. Nobody wants that. You do not want to miss next week's episode. I know, terrible. Okay, before I let you go, here is the truth. Every student deserves the early expert college guidance that I saw for myself when I traveled and recruited for Vassar College. I was blown away by the huge discrepancy of resources between public and Catholic schools versus private independent schools. The reality is this inequity has been there forever. But for those who are in it, we tend to simply live with it, blindly accepting less than. Your child's future is worth more than that. Your child deserves better. Once I faced this hard truth, I decided it was time to write that book. I began drafting on the beaches of Miami and the Riverwalk in San Antonio while I was recruiting for Vassar. I was an anthropologist and a sociologist studying everything I saw. What did private schools do? What do they share? What do they have? What did resourced families believe and offer their children? I packaged that into my book, Be Committed, Get Admitted, and later created the online extension of that book known as Dream College Academy. DCA is designed to offer step-by-step early expert college guidance needed to build confidence before applying to top colleges and increase success. We offer this to every family, no matter your zip code. You can learn about DCA on my website, and soon doors will be open to register. We cannot wait to welcome hundreds of students from across the country to help achieve your college dreams. Here's a quote from a parent of one of our first DCA rock stars. She says, "It seemed that my daughter had all the pieces to the puzzle, but definitely needed help putting this jigsaw together. Dream College Academy, DCA, the online extension of the book, is where she discovered and learned to cultivate her passion project. The essay camp gave her the strategies to bring her ideas to the forefront. I'm glad I took this leap of faith with Dr. Colon and her team to help make her college dreams come true." That's from Centria, a parent of a student from class of 2022. They're from Chicago, Illinois, and Jana is Princeton University, class of 2026. And I'm wearing a shirt today. Alrighty then, like I said, go to my homepage now and download a free copy of my book to get a head start on what to expect in Dream College Academy. And for crying out loud, stop waiting. Schedule an appointment with me. Oh, my word. Okay, wow, that was awesome. That is all I have for you today, my friends. Thank you for tuning in to Truth Talk Thursday at Destination U University. I'm Dr. Cynthia Colon. If this episode has in any way helped, fueled, or inspired you, please share this episode with 3 people in the next 30 minutes. You can subscribe to Destination U University wherever you get your podcast. And while you're there, leave us a review. It sure does help a lot. By subscribing and reviewing, you're helping to grow the community of informed families across the nation. Thank you for joining the movement. And hello, if you haven't binge listened to our previous seasons, do it. If you know an 8th grader or a high school student, dive in and take every piece of advice possible. Start with episode 1, where I interview my mother. You're going to love her. So, okay, once again, if you found value in today, please share this episode with 3 families in the next 30 minutes. I'll be sure to see you next week, same time, same place. Until then, wherever you are, may you have a happy and sunny day. Bye for now.
Thank you so much for listening this week to Destination University. Be sure to join Dr. Cynthia Colon again and get one step closer to your success.